Legislation empowered the governor to appoint 3 loyalty rangers in each county to monitor anti-war activity. In South Texas, these loyalty rangers participated in an unprecedented assault on Mexican-American voting rights. In the 1918 election, for example, Rangers reduced the number of votes cast in Alice, Texas from some 300 in an earlier primary to only 65 in the general election. Voting across South Texas plummeted when Rangers were deployed. Okay, the Hobby Loyalty Act, signed into law March 1918, created a subset of special rangers, which were already a subset of regular rangers, called loyalty rangers. These are 3 picked men who were assigned in each of the, I think, 252 at the time counties in Texas. They are tasked with acting as sort of a secret service force. They go about their business and go to their jobs in their hometowns, but they're always on the lookout for espionage, draft dodgers, basically anything that doesn't support the war effort. This was Texas's answer to the Espionage and Sedition Acts of 1917 and 1918. And as a product of the Hobby government, these men were also expected to be loyal to the Hobby government and work for his reelection. So yes, probably Rangers were at the polls in the 1918 election, but refusing to forget's claim that racialized voter suppression was the reason fewer votes were cast in South Texas is, I know you know what I'm going to say, it's purposely, willfully blind to context. So what did they leave out this time? Just a variance of 500,000 votes. No big deal. The variance between the primary and the general election turnout was enormous. So was this variance the result of racial injustice because Rangers were at the polling stations? Did 3 men in each county terrorize 500,000 people into not voting? Was harassment by the Rangers the reason voting in South Texas plummeted, as Refusing to Forget tells us it was? Probably not. The voter turnout was robust for the primaries. You know what didn't hamper the primaries? The 1918 Spanish flu. As it turns out, and all of us experienced together 3 years ago, a pandemic will scare the hell out of people. That makes a difference in an election where there's no convenient mail-in voting. The influenza outbreak peaked in Texas in September and October, just before the general election. On October 22nd, in Corpus, all soda fountains were voluntarily closed. People in restaurants were required to remain 5 feet apart. I guess we thought an extra foot was going to save us 100 years later. Schools had been closed since the first week in October. Theaters were closed. Pool halls were closed. People were not allowed to congregate. City police were actually enforcing the anti-spitting ordinances in Nueces County. I'm not saying there wasn't racism. There most assuredly was racism. But when you make a bold claim like, in South Texas, these loyalty rangers participated in an unprecedented assault on Mexican-American voting rights, you better be able to back that up. The source of these bold claims, according to the footnote in Dr. Ben Johnson's book, is a single, anonymously written note about the Alice elections. No mention of the Spanish flu or the massive variance of 500,000 votes pre- and post-pandemic. It's kind of shameful to leave that out, if you ask me.